Hi everybody. A late night video. I got an email alert that I got another comment on one of my videos, and it's the longest one so far with the most Linux Kool-Aid drinking I've ever seen. And I want to go over it with you. So let's start by reading it, shall we? This is a guy named Peter. And thanks for having a real name, by the way, Peter. It's good that you're not a bot name like some of the others. So you have a valid point as far as it not being ready for daily driving by the majority. No Linux-based phone is ready for that. The software just isn't there yet. As an end user, this doesn't matter to you. You want it to work, and that's fair enough. However, you need to keep in mind the context of this phone. Example, it's the first or one of the first real-world phones running Linux, meaning there's finally a hardware platform for the software to be written to. Okay, let's just stop for a minute there. First of all, it's not a phone because it doesn't work as one yet with any of the operating systems. It doesn't replace any phone that's currently available in its competitors' world. Samsung, Apple, etc., etc., etc. Not even close. So it's not a phone. It's a computer that wants to be a phone, but it's not a phone. Okay, let's carry on. And the next part kind of confuses me. However, you need to keep in mind the context of the phone. Is the first one, meaning there's a finally. Okay, there the old chicken and the egg problem. The chicken and the egg is a debate on which came first. What are you talking about? The hardware came first, or the software came first? I'm not sure how the chicken and the egg analogy applies to this. Chickens come from eggs, so how did the egg get laid that made the first chicken? That's what you're talking about. Well, the phones have been around long before this one, so I'm not really sure what you're getting at there. So it's a nice analogy, but I don't think it fits. Anyway, it's not being sold as a daily driver. There has been and still is a warning on the store page. Okay, yeah, you Linux guys always point out to the part where at the bottom, but you don't point out the part where the original website says something different. You just kind of ignore it like it doesn't exist. But it says the Pinephone is made for end users. That's me, but it's not ready for that, and no one points out that it's not ready for the end user yet. They just make this statement that that's what it's for, and then hope you miss the other part when you order it. That's what it's all about. It's got nothing to do with that. You know, so let's stop pointing out the disclaimer at the end of the sales pitch. Let's look at the claims that are false made at the beginning of the sales pitch on every website. FOSS and Pinephone. Right? It's not ready for anybody yet because it doesn't function as a phone. It's not a phone. Right? It's a computer that's very tiny and has lots of bugs. Now, anyway, I'm ranting. Let's get past the beta edition users and blah 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 blah. Yeah, extensive line. I don't know what. None of this says ready for general daily use. Well, I'm gonna have to pull up the Pinephone thing and read it to you here. An open source smartphone supported by all major Linux projects. It's not a smartphone because it doesn't function as one, right? The purpose of the Pinephone isn't only to deliver a functioning Linux phone to end users. Well, they didn't deliver a functioning Linux phone to me. Non-functioning is what I got. And it doesn't say that it's non-functioning until you get to the ordering part. But by that time, you're already sold. That's the fraud of the whole thing. Anyway, next paragraph. As far as it being a great device, it is. Well, based on what? Well, how is it a great device? It sucks a lot of power to charge it so it can run the battery down fast. It's weird stuff goes wrong with it while you're using it. There's nothing great about it at all so far that I can see. I'm looking at it right now. I'm not seeing anything great. Yeah, my SIM card has disappeared from the phone again because I'm getting the modem messages that it loses the SIM card. It's still in their phone, but it stops recognizing it, and I have to reboot it to fix it. That's not a great phone. Anyway, and all the early adopters who are buying it and commenting on it, knowing the context is of early adoption and Linux experience required. Well, how is Linux Experience going to help this phone to work? You need somebody to write the code, not say that it's going to be a great phone. Like, how many years is it going to take? Is there a time frame? How long will I have to wait for this to actually work with any of the operating systems? Because none of them work now. Let's see, what else are you going to say? What the device will make possible in the future. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. It's far from perfect. Is it a daily driver? It depends. Could it be? Yes. No. Well, it could be once it's finished. It'll be a great phone. But when's somebody going to finish it? What's the schedule on that? Is there a time frame? Is there an appointment calendar I can look at to see when you're going to get the job done? Oh, I can't find one. Right? How long will I have to wait? These are the questions the end user's answering, because I've been sold on it already by the homepage, and now I want the product. But imagine you go to the car dealer and you buy a car, and he says, oh yeah, you have a choice of 8 different engines, but none of them run well, so you can just pick which one you like and see how it goes, right? Well, would you buy that car? No. So they wouldn't tell you that. They say it runs fine until you own the car, and then tell you afterward that oh yeah, by the way, the engines we gave you, they're easy to swap out, but they don't work. None of them work properly. Well, would you be happy with that car? No, I don't think you would. Well, I can't see how anyone would be happy with this phone. Take the claim off the front page saying it's for end users. It's not ready for that yet. You need to specify that, not trick people into buying something that isn't ready to be purchased. Anyway, what else have you got to say, Peter? I talked about that. Yeah, I like the one. If you don't currently want the camera to work, but want the modem to work for calls and SMS, then you use the OS that has best support for that. Well, it's kind of like my car analogy. I want it all to work out of the box, not piecemeal, depending on which power plant I put on what I'm going to get out of it. You need to have some uniformity there. It's not a good product. I'm sad to say that you've simply missed that context, and in doing so disappoint yourself. No, Pinephone has disappointed me, because they make a big speech on their homepage about how great the phone is, but it's not great at all. It's nowhere near being great. And what else do I want to say? I lost my place. Yeah, I wish I could figure out how to make an RMA. I would have done so 3 weeks ago, but I can't find it. You create an account, you log in. I can't see anywhere to say create RMA, return product, nothing like that. So they're hiding it from me, so I can't return it. It's sneaky, underhanded sales tactics. These guys should sell cars, because car dealers work that way too. Sneaky ways to get you to buy something that doesn't really do what you want. Oh, it comes with all these great features, and then you get the car. Hey, where's my great feature? Oh, well, it doesn't come with this model. Well, that's not what you said when you sold me the car, sir. So, if you want to have the reputation of a used car salesman, then good luck selling Pinephones, because it's not going to happen. Anyway, so if you haven't noticed, Peter, I'm not happy with your comment. And if you go look at your comment and you scroll down to the bottom, see what Brock says. 100% agree. It's a toy. All the operating systems that I've tried are trash at the moment. Feels like I've gone back to 2010. Super slow and glitchy. I don't think the community has the collective will to make something that truly works in every aspect. That's the real problem. Is that it's been going on a couple of years now, and you're nowhere near the end. And we're not going to hang around and wait for this without some kind of schedule and a promise of a completion date. What's the target date on this? I haven't found that anywhere, and I'm not going to hang around and wait. Anyway, thanks a lot for your comments, Peter, and I'm sure you're a big Linux enthusiast, and you'll probably be the one who will write the code to get all this done. But just remember, we only live so long, and we're going to move on for something else if you don't come along with something better. Thanks a lot, guys.